Welcome, students. Um, Today we are starting with the uh, discussion again. Chapter number 17, Forest. Some discussion of the question answer from awareness we had done in the last class. Today we will do some more questions, discussion of the some more questions. So let's proceed. Define crown of a tree. When I was discussing about the structure of the forest, you heard that is it is the topmost layer, and this is known as the crown. So it is the branchy part of the tree above the stem, and it is known as the crown. They are forming a roof like pattern in the forest. Name the various layers of the vegetation in the forest starting from the top downwards. So top layer, the five layers of the forest are canopy, then below the canopy is the understory, then the shrub layer, the herb layer, and then the forest floor. So canopy is the topmost layer, and then the forest floor is the bottommost layer, and in between layers are from canopy to down is the understory, shrub layer, and herb layer. Okay, so while we are studying the structure of the forest, this pattern you have to follow. What happens if an animal dies in a forest? This is a very speciality of the forest. Like after the death of any animal or the plant body, after some time they don't remain as a waste in the forest. Now, why is that so? Why this process is there? Because when an animal die in the forest, then forest has got decomposers. They decompose the dead bodies into nutrient, water, and carbon dioxide. Nutrient are returned to the soil. So what is the fate of the nutrient? They are returning to the soil. Carbon dioxide, they are returning to the air. And then these nutrients, like which again had returned to the soil, then reused for the growth of the new plant in the forest. Okay, so what happens? So this is the reason, like in the forest floor there are not remaining any dead bodies or any waste, because instantly the decomposers or the saprophytes which are present in the forest, or saprotrophs which are present in the forest, they decompose the dead bodies into nutrient, carbon dioxide, and water. So water remaining in the soil and ultimately goes into the soil, the nutrient layer ultimately goes into the soil and again be reused for the growth of some other plant, and carbon dioxide again gone to the air. Okay, next, how do trees grow in a natural forest? Now, in the natural forest means the forest cover which is not artificially done by any one of us. So what happens? The dead part of the trees and the plants and the dead animals and the animal waste, they keep on collecting the on the forest floor. Now the decomposers act on the dead plants and the dead animal matter and the animal waste, and convert them into nutrient, or which is calling as humus. And the humus contain plant nutrients, and these, when they are mixed with the soil, they makes the soil more fertile. Now the animal and the birds of the forest, the wind and the water, they disperse the seeds of the trees and plants on the forest floor. Obviously this is the insect pollinated, or this is by wind. The fruits are fallen from the trees and the seeds are dispersed, and then these seeds get the nutrition and the water from the forest soil, and then they are germinated into the new seedlings. And when the seedlings are germinated, they grow to form a normal saplings, and ultimately they saplings develop into trees. So it's a very common, it's a very methodical process. Like the dead bodies of the trees and the plants and the animal waste, they keep on collecting the forest. These Then the decomposers, just in the last question we had discussed, the decomposers, they eat or decompose these matter into humus. These humus convert into the, or they mix, these humus contains nutrients, they are getting into the soil, making the forest soil fertile. Now what happens, the different agents like insect, like birds, like wind, they help to disperse the seed in the forest floor. These seeds, after getting dispersed into the forest floor, get adequate nutrition from the soil of the forest, and these, after getting the adequate nutrition and the water, they develop into saplings, which then develop into trees. So this is the method by which in the natural forest the trees grow. What are the various effects of destruction of the forest? What are the various effects? First one is it leads to the shortage and other forest products. Now, nowadays we are so very much dependent on the natural product. You take about medicine, think about cosmetics, then anything like whatever we use, if there is a tag of natural, it is like it has got a very value in it. But ultimately when you are, and similar thing is happening with the wood also, different types of furniture and different types of cottages, houses, whatever is possible can be made by the wood. So if you cut the forest, if you destroy the forest, automatically the wood and the forest product will be deteriorated. Next is destruction of the forest will disturb the balance. Balance of what? Balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen. That means in the atmosphere there is a balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen which is drastically deteriorated if the forests are cut. And also it leads to soil erosion. Erosion means what? Soil will be washing away. Why? Because the roots of the plants are the one which holds the soil particles. So if the soil is like if the tree cover is not there, the soil are exposed. So they are easily being carried away by the wind, by water, by different types of agents, and ultimately the topsoil portion will be eroded away, which leads to the um, infertility of the soil and infertility for the growth of the crop. If the soil is infertile, like the topsoil is the most fertile soil, without tree cover they will be eroded away. Soil will now become infertile, and infertile soil will hamper the growth of the crops. Destruction of the forest also affects the water cycle. Like different water cycles, different water cycle has got a definite pattern, you know, that is water gets evaporated, condenses, evaporation of the water, then ultimately forming the cloud again forming the rain, again coming down. So this is the cyclical pattern of the water, but this is going to be hampered if there is no forest cover, no plants. And destruction of the forest also leads to extinction of many animals and birds, because forest is the storehouse of the different animals and birds, definitely. So if the no home is lost, if you lose your home, if you destroy your home, where will you stay? So the same thing, different types of animals and plants and birds, they remain, they take the shelter in the forest. So if the forest cover is lost, automatically they will also be lost. So I hope with this. Oh, sorry, one more question. Is it necessary to conserve forest? State any two ways to conserve forest. Yes, the conservation is necessary, because so far we had done about the destruction of the forest. Now we need to know. So we had seen that destruction of the forest leads to different types of environmental problems, and also as the environmental all phenomenon and factors are very much related to one another, so the loss of one life equals to loss of all life. So the forest conservation is very much necessary. That means to maintain the supply of the wood and other forest products, to maintain the balance of carbon dioxide oxygen, to prevent the soil erosion, to maintain the water cycle. All these activities could be possible if forest covers are very much there. So some of the ways are to conserve the forest. Excessive cutting down of the trees should be banned, and more afforestation should be promoted, should be encouraged. And also the cutting down of the trees definitely has to be penalized, because the legal language is very essential to stop us from doing what is environmental pollution, or what is causing the against environmental regeneration or environmental good. So the forest has to be conserved. For this, deforestation has to be stopped, and afforestation should also be promoted. So with this question answer and with this discussion, I hope you are getting much more idea about this chapter, and also our duty as a citizen, what to do to protect our environment. Next class, we will discuss more of the forest. We will discuss more questions. Till then, all of you stay safe. Thank you.